Good evening, everyone. How you doing? How's it going? Mojo, Mad Scania V8 man, Leroy. How you doing, mate? There's a few others according to YouTube there. Welcome to. Thanks for joining me on the stream tonight, guys. How you doing? You all right? Everyone good for a Friday? Welcome to my first solo live stream. Proper solo, I suppose. There was one or two practices earlier on in a couple of weeks back, but yeah, thought I'd give this one a go. How are we all doing? We all right? What's been going on? So, yeah, thanks for joining me. I kind of figure this is a little bit different to what I normally do. I normally try and get a recorded episode out on a Friday, don't I, for this Court Farm series, but unfortunately, I just haven't had the time to do it, and I figured, well, instead of spending a couple of days making one episode and stressing myself out and not being able to do all the things that I need to do, I figured I'd just go live, take a couple of brave pills, and here we are. Violet Pixie Diva, hiya love, how you doing? You okay? Thanks for joining. Samo Simulations, how you doing? Peter Cartman, how you doing, man? I need to get better at, I need to make sure I concentrate more on looking there at you guys and giving you a bit of eye contact, looking there, and not forgetting to play the game as well. Yeah, how we doing? So, Violet, how was the chili last? Was it last week or the week before? I think it was. You were making a big pot of chili, weren't you? Did that go down well? I do like a pot of chili. So, what we're doing, yeah, this is a bit different to my normal thing, isn't it? I've normally spent a few hours, a couple of days making a bit of an episode, but I figured I'd just take you on the journey with me tonight and just do a couple of hours or so of an hour or two of live stream and go from there. Because, as the title says, let's get into debt. If you've watched the last couple of episodes, you'll know that I bought this big plot of land here down in the bottom corner top corner, sorry, of the map. It was a bit of wasteland, so we mowed it, we cut the grass and put a big pile of it over there. I think that's, including that trailer load there, we've got 95,000 litres of grass. That is going to feed the sheep that don't exist yet. And the idea is, in tonight's episode, I'm going to get a hefty loan, probably about £250,000 worth. We're going to, which I've never really done before. Chris B, good evening, sir. How you doing? Mrs. Sim Gamer, hello, mate. How you doing? You all right? Hi. Going solo, mate. Solo. Brave pills. They've all gone. I've had them all. Yeah, I'm gonna place down another sheep barn in this field, in this area. One of Lancy Boy's mods. It's a really nice looking thing. I've never used it before, so I hope it's going to work. I'm sure it will, knowing Lancy Boy. Yeah, we're going to place that down. We're going to place down a tailor shop, which I've been doing a little bit of thinking and a bit of planning and where it might go, and it's actually going to, I think I'd like to put it here, actually, to try and be a little bit sensible. And it was great chili with the cinnamon. Very that's good to hear, mate. Lovely stuff. Can't beat a good chili. Riding solo. Yeah. You're damn right, mate. Damn right. Yeah, so the idea is we're gonna place down the sheep barn. We're gonna place down a little shed to put some stuff in, and we're also going to place down this tailor shop. Now I've downloaded a modded tailor shop. It's on the mod hub. It's essentially it's exactly the same as the base game one, except it's just called Fast Tailor Shop. So it's just the monthly cycles have been amended from 1 to 10. So it should just operate a bit faster, hopefully. It costs the same amount of money. It's 100,000 quid. The sheep barn is 98 grand, and the little shed that I want to place down is 20. So all in all, obviously, that's what, 218 grand. But I'm gonna get a £250,000 loan just so that I'm not completely skint. We've got 17,400 quid still. Oh, Leroy, mate, honestly. You honestly living up to your name of being Leroy the legend, aren't you? Thanks, mate. That's really kind. Thank you so much. Thank you. Peter Cartman, hello, mate. Yeah, Mrs. Sim Gamer, good evening, mate. Hope the dogs are alright, mate. Having a bit of a mare, aren't you, at the minute, pal? I do hope that... Milk Tanker J, how you doing, mate? Yeah, I do hope the dogs are alright this evening, mate. Yeah, so, I suppose there's nothing left to do than to go by the title of the video tonight and get into debt. So, I'm going to do that straight away. We're going to go into our loan system. We're going to take a loan. Now, bear in mind, I've had 2 loans on this series before. We've paid off one of 70 grand. We've currently got a 60 grand loan, so technically we're going to be 300k in debt, but it's going to be worth it because we'll be able to pay it back. Especially, before I do actually, especially because now that I've got fabric going in the game, I was having a look at the contracts before. Look at that. A fabric supply contract. 230,000 litres of fabric and £741,000. I mean, that's ridiculous, but just imagine that. I mean, obviously we've got to have 230,000 litres of fabric first, but still. Yeah, so possibilities are good for the future. So, anyway, right, where are we? Take loan. 200, no, need to stick my mouse in there, don't I? £250,000. I reckon 5 years is about a reasonable time. Monthly repayment of £4,667. 275, 120 to be paid out in total. So fair is good. Debt is good. Debt actually does good for credit score. Well, yes, it does in real life, doesn't it? Let's hope the game runs like that as well, shall we? Take loan. Boom. Done. There we are. I have had a bank balance of that before on this series, but that was from finding all the collectibles. Loosening the sensible track. Yes, yeah, the belt's off now, mate. Yeah, the elastic's gone in the waist of these sensible trousers. They are literally falling down. But yeah, do you know, it's got to be done. Obviously, I love this series. I really do. I know I've said it a handful of times before, but Court Farms is one of these maps. It is to me anyway. I know it's a subjective thing. Some people don't necessarily get on with Court Farms because of the layout of the roads and the narrowness of it, but us UK people who are relatively familiar with roads like this, especially here in the Shire in Cheshire, this is very much what it's like. And I could just play this map forever. I really could. It's just one of these things, and I plan on doing it. I've got no plans to Mrs. SG. What you, mate? Thank you. Thank you so much. That is desperately kind. Thank you. Hi, Mr. Sim Gamer. I hope the guy doing Euro Truck Simulator can help you. Yeah. Euro Truck Simulator. That is a game that has been tickling my fancy, I must admit. Right, anyway, yeah, let's do this, shall we? So we're going to jump into... I suppose the first few minutes of this is going to be a bit of design and construction, I guess. So we're going to jump into the construction menu. We are going to place down, first of all, peace and quiet, Mrs. Sim Gamer. We're going to place down... Leroy! Stop it! Thank you, honestly. Milk Tanker J, I'm loving this series. Thank you, mate. Thank you, Jay. I really do. I'm very happy that you're enjoying it. I love the fact that people are enjoying this series. It makes it all the worthwhile. It really does. It's wonderful. But Leroy, thank you, mate. Thank you, dude. That's desperately kind. You've got me concentration all flummoxed now, haven't you? Right, sheep barn. There we go. So I had in mind, I do spend a bit of time deliberating over where to put things on a map. And because I plan on using as much of this grassland as possible, within reason, to be responsible for feeding these sheep, I've been trying to think about, instead of just, like plonking it in the middle here and, not being thoughtful about the land itself and being able to treat it as a field. Yeah, Yorkshire Dano, good evening. Evening, Yorkshire Dano, how you doing, mate? Thanks for joining us, man. Yeah, so anyway, yeah, I've been thinking about where to put things and how to keep as much of a nice large piece of land as possible to turn into a nice big grass field to feed these sheep. Now, I need to, forgive me, I need to turn on these things first, the interactive zone markers, just so that I know where things are. and that I don't go and place something. Oh, so it's just at that end. Okay, right. But I do need to... There is an in and out on this side of the barn, so if I'm going to have it kind of... Maybe about there, I'd say. Give or take a bit. Then the tractor can come in one side and out the other. I suppose that's as good a place as any. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Done. I love the fact that when you place it down, you get the bah from the sheep. That's pretty cool. Right. Okay. Sheep barn. Done. Chunk of money spent already. So... Right, that's there. Now that we have also in mind, I'm not going to discuss for a few days. Car issues. Oh, car issues as well. Car issues, dog issues, and general life. Oh, mate, yeah, not long to the end of this year, Mrs. SG. What we got? Is it 16 days? I think we figured it out to be. Buildings, sheds. Now, again, the other shed that I have in mind here is another one of Lancy Boy's. Funnily enough, it just suits the place down to the ground. It really does. It's one cut, that one, a no wall shed. There we are. So in my mind, I'm going to park this somewhere about here. It's just going to be a little shed to keep a few tools in that we might need down here, because this is good. I do hope that this is going to turn into a little bit of a decent operation, should we say. To keep these sheep and wool and stuff going, stuff for mowing the grass down here as well. We might even end up buying another mower just to save carting water around the map all the time, but we'll see. I think that would be there we go. I reckon that should do nicely, I think, just to put stuff in for now. So that's that, and that's that. Now I can't put down the tailor shop. I want to put the tailor shop here, unfortunately, right where this gigantic pile of grass is. So I need to make sure I've got £100,000 to the side for that. But if we wander over here and go and, first of all, purchase some sheep. In fact, first things first, I'm going to see how much a chunk of sheep is going to be. Just so I know where I am financially. And then, so let's go to here. I think we're going to go for some, what were these ones there? 8 months old. What should we go for? What do you reckon, people? We've got, should we go for the traditional Stein shafts? 8-month-old females. What are we looking at here? So what does this barn? This barn holds 65. Oh, so just under 12 grand will get us 60 sheep. So that's not going to be a bad idea, is it? To stock up completely, just get a full... I'm not too bothered about waiting for lambs and this, that and the other. The idea of doing this is to invest in get as much wool production going as possible to turn into fabric, to turn into money. Borrow Mrs. SG's Top Gun mower. Right, okay, so 12 grand is going to get us a mass of sheep. So I think what I'm going to do now, very quickly, is jump back into the construction menu. I'm going to jump into the painting. I hope you don't mind me doing this. I kind of figured this was going to be part of the journey. Just painting it in and adding it into... because I've already got a bit of the auto drive network in here that is currently going all around here, around the wool mill. But the idea is to make it look like it's been here a little longer than 20 seconds. And just create a bit of a path in here for the vehicles to come past the little workshop. Little Tanker J, I've been watching your Courseplay auto drive tutorials. Oh, thanks, mate. They are very informative. I used them both before, but didn't quite understand all the settings until now. Oh, you're very welcome, mate. I am glad you found that useful. I must admit, it's I am very glad you've found those useful. Genuinely, I am. I was a bit nervous about doing the tutorial things, just because I mean I know what I'm doing with them. I've been playing FS22 now for a number of years, and auto drive and Courseplay were two of the big ones that I really wanted to get my teeth into, and it takes a long time to understand them. They are inherently quite a complex pair of mods. Individually they're quite complex, but when you get to know them and you've mucked around with them as much as I have, you know, I kind of know what I'm talking about. Without, I don't mean that to sound in any way big-headed or anything. But yeah, I kind of, you know, I'm familiar with it. But then turning that into a tutorial turns it into something else again, because it's like imposter, you know, like a little bit of imposter syndrome. You know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't know if I've got the credentials to be showing people how to do something, because even me today, like I say, I've been using it for years. I used it on FS19. Admittedly, it was a bit of a different thing back then, slightly. But yeah, I always feel like I've got a little bit of imposter syndrome going on with that. But yeah, I am. Bottom line is, I'm just saying, you know, I'm very grateful that you found them even remotely useful. Mojo, do you have any more Autodrive courseplay videos coming out? I do have. I haven't got anything done yet. I mean, as I say, I'm doing this live stream now because I didn't have the time this week just to get one recorded. But I do have planned. There are one or two more. There's definitely another Autodrive one that will be coming that will go over things like reversing and parking, and maybe one or two other little parts of Autodrive that I can think of. And then once that one's out, then I think the last one will be the mighty pair, as it were, combining Courseplay and Autodrive to do their thing, if that makes any sense, when you get them working together in a field. Because that's what it's all about. Autodrive is wonderful. Like, for example, now if I suddenly realise I wanted to send that TW15 back to the farm, I can click a couple of buttons and off it goes. Brilliant. But it's all about getting them working in the field together, getting them doing stuff together, being able to send from here. For example, I could send, well, admittedly the TW's not got anything really on the back of it to do any jobs with, but if that, for example, had a plough on the back of it or anything else, you can send it from here to a field on the other side of the map with a handful of clicks of the mouse, and then before you know it, assuming the field access is fine, you can let it go and do its thing, and by the time you come back to it, it's ploughed the field. It can do all those things, so it's absolutely amazing. Samo Simulation, you did a great job with those tutorials, but really clear and informative, and now have a slight clue. Samo, thank you, mate. Again, like Milk Tanker said before, I'm really grateful and humbled in a way that you found them even remotely useful. So that makes it all worthwhile. It really does. They were actually quite difficult to make, those, because tutorials and the like, that they don't come naturally to me, I must admit. If you were sat here in person, and I suppose it's easy doing, like, sorry, gonna bang the microphone. It's easy for me to talk to you now and do stuff and tell you about stuff and say, oh, you know, if you wanted to do this, you know, X, Y, Z. But the putting it into a video that's going to be on YouTube forever, it just suddenly becomes a different thing. It's just different putting it into a video, if you know what I mean. So it took a lot more thought and a lot more planning. But the bottom line is, I'm really grateful and I'm really humbled that they've been even remotely useful. But yes, there will be one or two more coming out. Leroy, I think I worked out reversing and that now. I use my... Well, the video will still be up and coming, mate, because I know you have been requesting that from me, and I do humbly apologise that I haven't got it out yet. It's just, as I say, it's I'm not making excuses by any sense of the word, but obviously we all know this time of year gets a bit hectic, doesn't it? Yeah, and I've just been getting myself a bit flustered these last few days because I've not been able to spend as much time as I wanted to sitting at my computer doing what I normally do, making videos. Hence why we're doing this tonight. I suppose essentially doing another episode, but doing it with the pleasure and company of all you guys. So that's awesome. So right, so that's, I suppose that might work out about right. I think maybe if we might have enough room to drive around the building if we needed to, we might have enough room. We'll be able to pull in and tip there, and then I think, just because I think it's the right thing to do, we're also going to make a bit of a, which one's that? Animal Mud 2. What does Animal Mud 1 look like? Let's have a look. Yeah, that's about right, I think. It's all part of the journey building up on the farm. Yeah, do you know what? It really is, mate. You couldn't be right, couldn't be more correct, Peter. And do you know what? This is part of the game that I absolutely adore. I could sit here for hours just building a farm, not doing any field work, not driving a single tractor, just making a farm. I find it so therapeutic, so, I don't know, just relaxing. I just absolutely love doing it. It's one of my favourite parts of this game. So forgive me if I'm dragging it out a bit here. I'm just, but yeah, just trying to, you know, just making something feel and look like it should do in real life. I just find so relaxing. So what are we doing here? I want a little bit of grass for the centre. Can I make it small enough? Oh yeah, we can. There we go. So have a little bit of a, you know, like the country lanes do here in the UK, a bit of a grassy lump in the middle. Paint the grass down first with the painting tool, and then we'll actually put the grass down from the plants once that's done. Just to make a little lane so it's accessible from both sides, just in case. So let's do that. Now the other thing, now as you can see from the land, when I bought this area of land, it was a complete area of wasteland. I'm sure anyone who's been on the map and is familiar with this little corner, it's just like a big, you know, knackered old wasteland, isn't it? I did get a little bit, well, 95,000 litres of grass out of it, to be honest. And then once I'd bought the land, cut the grass, and then placed down the woolen mill, I then, for the sake of a hint of OCD and making it look nice, I've just painted all the grass in. Now, I'm not going to cut this grass because I feel that would be a little bit cheaty to gain a huge amount of grass from all of this. But what I am going to do, because I do want to turn this into a field, I need to plough it first. I need to be able to, so that I can use the precision farming and the scanner and, you know, get all the soil data and all that kind of stuff. That's where my mind is. So I'm not going to cut this. What we will do in this episode, in this stream, is I will, when I've got everything placed where I want it to be, I'll create a custom field using Courseplay. I'll run through that with you if any of you are interested, and record the outline of the field, and then we'll go and get the plough and then plough it under, essentially. Just to turn it into a field, then we can get the field scanner, get the soil data, and then plant some grass. Essentially, that's the. I'm pretty sure we are within season to plant grass. I think you can pretty much plant grass most of the year. Yeah, we're fine. We're fine. Okay, so right, that's that. Now I don't think. Let me just jump to the tractor here. I don't think I can put grass into this without there being sheep, can there? I love watching FARMERSIM build farms. There's an art to it. Oh, mate, thanks, dude. Well, it's. You know what? I don't know what it is. It's just a lovely thing to have to do. I just adore it. Maybe it's come from my childhood, because I had when I was a little boy. Right, I know you can't tip grass into here without there being sheep, can you? It would seem. No, okay. Yeah, when I was a little kid, my dad made me a gigantic wooden board. It was, well, to me at the time it was massive. It was probably about a metre and a half big, with a little wall, and he painted like a little entrance. It was yellow and brown and orange and stuff, and he had like a little lake on one corner, and he had all my plastic Britain's farm toys and stuff, and I used to literally build a farm on it, and I just used to love that kind of thing. So maybe it's come from that, I don't know, perhaps. Anyway, right. We want sheep, don't we? So let's get some Stein shafts, females, 8 months old. Let's... In fact, we'll go down to 50. We'll give a little bit of room for reproduction. So 50 Stein shafts, yeah, 8 months old. Gestation period 5 months. Okay. Yes, done. Thank you. Welcome sheep. Good lord. There's a few of them, isn't there? That looks quite crowded, doesn't it? Yeah, there we are. Welcome to the farm, people. Right. So why can I still not tip grass? Please don't mess me around here and tell me that this thing doesn't take grass. It should do, shouldn't it? Why, oh, why, oh, why does this not take grass? Well, let's catch up on some chat here, people. Craig Mawson, yeah. Oh, Craig, goodness, mate. My son is too. Craig, goodness. I'm a bit speechless, mate. Honestly, everyone sending all our love to you, mate. I really hope that your kids are, goodness me, mate, honestly. Sending love and support, mate, honestly, really am. That's horrible to hear. So that's where you get your expertise from. Yeah, from being 5 years old making plastic farms on a piece of wood. Right, okay, people. Anyone used this one before? Why can't I give these dudes grass? There's something going horribly wrong here already. I can only assume... Why aren't these guys... You can feed them grass, can't you? Where are we? Let's go into our animals. Home farm sheep, of which there are lots. This is going to mess my plans up, isn't it? All the chickens, sheep. Grass. Yes, that's the food that they take. Why can't I give them grass? Okay. Maybe I have to feed them inside the shed. Let's give that one a try, shall we? Andreas, hello mate, how you doing? You okay? Can we open the door? Open gate, there we go. Right. Let's see. I hate the idea of driving through my animals, but at the minute I don't have a choice. I'm just trying to figure out why I can't... Have I got to fold it before I tip it? I don't think I have. I mean, I've used this thing several times already, putting that gigantic pile of grass over there, and I don't remember having to fold the thing up before having to tip. No, okay. Violet Pixie, I plan on downloading Windows 10 on my computer and playing FARMERSIM and a few other games. Yeah, get it done, Violet. Couldn't recommend it enough, mate. Right, look away, people. I'm not trying to kill my... There's no... Oh, this is frustrating, isn't it? This is going to pepper all my plans. How are you meant to feed the sheep? Gotta check that that's... Oh, goodness me. Right. Okay. There's always a hurdle, isn't there? Best laid plans and all that. Why will this thing not take grass? It says they do. There it is. Sheep barn large. Grass. Does it have to be by bale? I'm just thinking that, mate. Yeah. Do you know what? Just for the purposes of testing, I'm going to try that very quickly. Square 240 unwrapped grass bale. There we go. Excuse me, everybody. They should be able to take loose grass. Oh, there you go. Right, it takes it from a bale. Okay. Right. Well, this changes my plans, doesn't it? Right, so they take it from a grass bale, so in which case I'm going to have to bale all this grass up. Or what I could do instead is mow the grass. I can just get rid of this loose grass, paint over it and place down the tailor shop and then mow this grass instead. I think that's what I might have to do, isn't it? I've been planning this for days, thinking, right, this is what I'm going to do. I don't want to do a live stream and come into any problems and you know, not know what's going on and end up appearing a bit silly. And here we are. I can't do what I wanted to do. So, FARMERSIM, all yours and Mr. Sim Game episodes of fun. Thank you, Craig. That's really kind, mate. We do love making our series, don't we, mate? We do have fun. Although, funnily enough, I'll tell you what, something isn't working here. And I can't quite figure what it is. Because I can't tip. As you can see, I've tipped using this exact tool. No mucking around, I've tipped here. But the unload function isn't there. And you see in the menus there, it's not giving me the option. You first need to unfold the tool. Yeah, I know that. Okay. But it's not letting me... No worries, mate. Nothing ever works like we wanted to. Well, most of the time it does. It's when it's the live thing. There's a bug for going live. But yeah, it's not letting me. I own this land. I should be able to tip this grass to this land, and I'm now wondering whether that's the reason why I'm not getting the tip trigger. It's nothing to do with the sheep barn that I've just placed down. There's something going wrong with this, I feel. Right, do you know what I'm going to try and do? Just very quickly, because there is... I have noticed at times... You first... Oh, you pain, really. I need to unfold that. Sometimes it is the manual attach mod. Detach the PT. Right, there we go. Let's turn off manual attach very quickly. I think it's in this one, all the way down at the bottom. Turn off manual attach. Right, there we go. No. It's not letting me do it. So that's definitely the reason why I'm not able to tip at the sheep barn. I think because something is wrong here. Right, I'm going to have to try a new tractor. Big oil static baler. Tip the loose in and bales. Tip the loose in and bales get pooped out. Yeah. Well, that would be the next thing. But now it's just... I'm going to have to try it with another tractor. Oh, but the PTO's not connected. I wonder whether it's something to do with this tractor. Right. Let's try another tractor, shall we? Let's just do this and save a bit of time. Excuse me, everybody. Let's do a bit of this. Right. Let's see if it works with this one. I've got a funny feeling that there's something not quite right with that TW15. As much as I love the tractor, I'm not going to get rid of it because it's not caused me too much problems. But I have a funny feeling. Jump cut. Yeah. Yeah, I've got a funny feeling that... Unload here, there we go, you see, so there's something with that tractor. So now, fingers crossed, touch wood, touch wood, touch wood. Plan can proceed. In that, if I pull this up to here now, I'm going to be able to tip. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Oh, you complete swine. Or are they full? This is going to mess me around, isn't it? No. Okay. No, it's definitely not taking the loose, so... Okay. Bales it is, then. It would seem. We're going to have to make a vast pile of bales. One last try, one last try. Come on, don't let me down. You are going to let me down, aren't you? You absolute swine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we're going to be doing a bit of baling today then. Right, okay. So, I think the best way of doing this is just to do this field, isn't it? I don't fancy the idea of picking all this loose grass up off this pile with the baler, so we may as well just get rid of this, place down the tailor shop, and then we'll mow, row, and bale this grass field. Oh, but it's doing it again. This is doing my nutting now, isn't it? Jayhawk just popped in to say hello. Someone has to work and keep America moving. Well, I really appreciate you calling by, mate. It's nice to see you, mate. Really. Right, so it's enabled me to tip there. What a pain. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna paint over this, unfortunately. All the messing around that went into tipping this gigantic pile of grass here, and now I can't do anything with it. How very frustrating. Well, I suppose then what I might need is a little bit of a bale shed then. Rent the Goile static baler. Might be an idea, mate. Might be an idea. Plans always change on a farm, bro, but it's an awesome... Thank you, mate. I'm really glad you're enjoying yourself. Forage pickup is your solution. Well, I already had done, Jay. I did that in one of the last episodes, didn't I? I'd mowed this area when it was a wasteland, tipped all the grass here, and then I was going to pick everything up with this forage trailer again, just from this pile, and put it as loose grass into the sheep barn that I've just placed over there. But the sheep barn won't take from this, and it will take from a bale. So I'm now, instead of, I suppose we could just, you know what? Yeah, let's just do that, shall we? Let's rent a baler. Have you got a front loader bucket? Yeah, I have. I've got the. I do have a front loader bucket, but for the purposes of moving on with this mess here, I think I am just going to pick up. I'm going to rent a. Let's put the store there. Let's go into here and let's go to the Goile static baler. Let's have a look. Where are we here now? Take a baler and do. Yeah, have you got a front? Can you do a roleplay series on Bally Springs? Do you know what? I do love Bally Spring. It's an absolutely beautiful map. But... Oh, do you know what? I don't even think I've got the Goile thing going on in here. I do have that, though. I do have the fast bale. Stilly sheep barn that won't take loose. That gets stilly. Do you know, well, it's one of Lancy Boy's. I've had it in the game for ages, and it's, yeah. What a pain. Right, what am I going to do here now? Yeah, do you know what? We're just going to do it properly. Let's just do this properly, as it were. We're going to mow this grass again. What I'm going to do, I'm going to paint over this grass. I'm just going to do it. I need to stop mucking around, don't I? Well, that looks a strange shape, doesn't it? I didn't do that on purpose. Where are we? Landscaping, painting. Dun, 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 dun. Greenlands. Honestly, MM6155R, at the minute, when it comes to series, I mean, that's one of the reasons why I am doing this tonight instead of my usual recorded episode. It's just finding the time. I honestly haven't got, at the minute, I have been thinking about doing other series, because at the minute, some of you may know that I release a Court Farms on this series on a Monday and a Friday. Leroy, for a whiskey as you may need it. You know what, Mrs. FARMERSIM said that before to me. I was like, I'm really nervous before I was coming on here tonight. I was like, the nerves are kicking in now, having never done a solo one like this before, a proper one on my own. And she was like, why don't you have a whiskey? I was like, no, I can't do that, because I'll end up getting blind drunk and just babbling absolute nonsense to you for an hour and a bit. Yeah. So, no, I'm back on the council pop, Mrs. SG. Spot of council pop. Right, what am I doing? What's going on with the grass? Well, hiya, Stephen. Cheers for joining us, mate. I've just learned, I've placed the... Yeah, hiya, mate. I'll jump into construction mode and show you, mate. So I've placed down Lancy Boy's sheep barn. We've bought 50 sheep. Now, all this planning and stuff that I've done, my idea was that big lump of grass that you've just seen me paint over there. The idea was I was going to pick that up with my forage trailer by trailer, tip it into this sheep barn and go from there. Brilliant. I've just found out after placing it that the sheep barn doesn't take loose grass, it only takes from bales. So I was then left with a decision, do I pick this lot, that big pile up there with the baler, which is a bit daft because it's a great big pile, or I'm just going to mow this grass here again. Now I'm going to mow this, we're going to mow it, row it, bale it, and do it properly there, and that will essentially be what we're going to do now for the next couple of hours. So, ooh, a bit of port. I haven't had port for years, you know. Right. But before we do that, we are going to place down our tailor shop. The modded one that I downloaded. So that's the base game one. And the one I want is... Where are we now? It's that one there. Tailor shop. That's the one. Yep, that's the one we want. And I think, personally, it was quite a struggle for me to find somewhere that I felt that this building suited on the map. I think I mentioned it in one of the last episodes that I feel it needs to be on a street, but I don't have that option in this on Court Farms. There's just nowhere to put it, so I'm just going to quite simply put it here next door to the mill. There we go. Oh, I've just got a... What's that? I've just got a steam thing. What do you call it? I forgot what they're called, goodness me. Anyway. Landscaping, painting, asphalt. There we go. I think that should be about right there. So, yeah, let's paint this in. There we go. And this is going to be our little wool empire, essentially. Yeah, that's the idea. I don't think I've left a great deal of room there, so I think what I might have to do is have a bit of a reversing auto drive thing into there, perhaps, to get that picked up, but we shall see. Get that tipped in, sorry, but we'll do that. Sorry, I'm just loading. Peter, cup of tea and custard. I have a cup of tea and custard. Hopefully not in the same receptacle, Peter. Right, so I reckon that's gonna do for there, and I think we'll call that there. Do a roleplay series on Bally Springs. Honestly, mate, I at the minute I haven't got the time to do another series at the minute. There's I've with what I'm doing on here on Court Farms on Zelonka and what I'm doing with Mrs. SG, I have got my mind on doing another series at some point, potentially replacing one of my Monday or Friday Court Farm series with a new series, but I don't know yet. You've got to be able to do what your heart and creative mind wants to do, and it's very difficult to. I mean, I've played Bally Spring. I played that heavy when it first came out, and I know a lot of people have done a lot of stuff on that as well. And we do need to do a bit of landscaping there because that was a bit lumpy and bumpy. Helen Priest, hello FARMERSIM. Mrs. Milk Tanker J, hello there, how you doing? If you can't beat them, join them. Absolutely, mate. Welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. To both of you. There you go. Are you both? Are you on separate devices? Are you what? Have you got one of you on a telly and one of you on a phone or a tablet or something? That's pretty cool. But yeah, thank you for joining us both. Awesome stuff. Just doing a little bit of neatening up here where it's a little bit bumpy. I think I might have to spend a bit of time with this and get that right, because that area is where it's going to put the fabric for me to pick up, and that's where it's got to tip. So I think there is going to be something of a reverse auto drive thing into there, I feel. Anyway, right, that's enough of that for now. We have stuff placed down that we want to place down. We've got the sheep. We've still got just under 40 grand, so we're not destitute. I can turn those things off now. I must admit, there's something. I never have those things turned on the interactive zone markers. There we go. Right. So, let us get into our fent, which is over here, ready and waiting with the mower and the rower, conveniently. Let's go for a bit of a drive and take this to where we want it to be. Good evening, Stephen. How you doing, sir? You well? Hope you're okay, mate. Let's take this to where we need to be. Mrs. SG. Hubby's on TV and phone. Hubby's on the TV and phone and on my mobile. But there's two of you and you're watching on 3 devices? Have I worked that out right? Hubby's on the TV and the phone. I'm having way too much fun looking through these superstars. Oh, is that what you're doing? I wondered what that was. You're very kind, mate. Thank you very much. I hope I'm going in the right direction here. I think this is the right way. I should know that. I've spent enough time on this map. Yeah, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go mow some grass, people. Mow, row, and then we'll... before I get going with this, I'm going to send the other two tractors the... Thanks, Peter. Appreciate that, mate. I really do. You're very kind, mate. You always say such lovely words of encouragement and support, mate, so I really appreciate that. I've finally updated this map as well. This is actually the updated version of the map. I've only just done that today. I sent you the file as well, didn't I, Mrs. SG, for the so that our server's up and running. Oh, Jayhawk, yes, please, absolutely, yeah. If you haven't already, if you wouldn't mind ever so much hitting that like button. What are you doing, you, Mrs. SG, with your super stickers? Are you sticker bombing my stream? Is that what we're doing here? That's awesome. This one looks like my cat. It does, apart from the fact that that one looks like it's smiling. My cat has got the same, I suppose, like most cats. It just has the same expression. Just that. Whether it's happy, sad, feed me, go to sleep. Just the same thing all the time. Expressionless. Yeah, got the file ready for the new week. Absolutely. Ready for next week. Absolutely. Yeah. Apart from the fact, yeah, it's the same colour as my cat. I think that's... and he's not locked in here tonight either, so he's not going to be scratching at the door like he was a couple of weeks back. Right, so let's... Before we do anything here, I'm going to send... Hey, Mrs. SG! Stormtrooper. There's me Stormtrooper. I know your Stormtrooper's bigger, but there you go. Resting B... Yes, yes! Resting B-face, absolutely. Right, so if all goes to plan, I should just be able to fire you off to home farm. Let's send you off there. Home farm, off ye go. Yeah, wonderful. You as well. Let's get rid of you. One of you can bring back the baler, and we'll also send over the... You're my fave gamer, he puts on, closely followed by Via. Oh, Helen, that's very kind, love. Thank you very much. That's, I'm humbled, thank you. That's really nice of you to say. Thank you very much indeed. Hearing things like that is what makes this just so awesome. It really does. Obviously, I'm still really quite new to... Well, I've been going since February, I think. So I'm not new to it all. But... You know, I still feel very new to this, so it's, you know, especially, you know, being part of this amazing community, I do still feel relatively new, so having stuff like that said to me is just heartwarming, it's humbling, it's lovely. You're all wonderful, really, you are. Thank you, Helen, thank you very much. Love the Stormtrooper. Yes, same. It's, right, what are we doing? Oh, here's a question for you, actually, you wonderful, wizened people. Is there a... I thought I remember reading somewhere. There's a... you know, if you... Like I've got here, I've got front and a rear tool. On a PC, I remember reading somewhere like that. If you held shift down, you can activate both tools at the same time. But it never worked for me. Am I right in saying you can do that, or can you not? Or did I dream it or something like that? I don't know. Oh, hang on a minute. What's going on here? Hey? Okay. What you got into, FARMERSIM? Mrs. SG, thank you, mate. I was smashing it, but I've completely smashed it now in a completely separate sense of the word. Why aren't I able to mow this grass? I'm cutting the grass. FARMERSIM, Farm Legend. Well, I don't know about that, Peter. I've made a colossal mistake at the minute here. You can... Yes, you can do that on a 360 controller too. Well, I've encountered another problem now, more live stream problems. I've painted down a grass before and mowed it. No problem whatsoever, right? Why now, after painting this whole place down with grass, admittedly the plan initially wasn't to to cut it, it's painted grass. But you can I thought you could still mow painted grass. Oh, okay. Right. Right, well, do you know what we're going to have to do to overcome this problem? I know that I had 95,000 litres of grass in that big pile that I've just got rid of. So, what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to spawn a handful of bales that is essentially going to be the replacement for the grass that I've just managed to completely get rid of, thinking I was being all clever and I'd be able to get rid of that grass, put that building down and just mow this grass to replace it. I clearly can't do that, so I'm going to spawn one bale. Where are we? Square bale, 240 centimetres, done. Right, what's that? That's 6,500 litres. If I get my calculator out very quickly, 95,000 litres divided by 6,500, that's 14 bales. Right. Bear with me, people. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Right, there we go. We now have the grass that we had in bales. That's now just sorted that. I'm very sorry for that. That's not... it's the live demons. Yes, it really is. Forgive me, ladies and gentlemen. This is not how I like to do things. I do like to consider doing things with a relative amount of realism. But I have live stream nerves, and I have the as Jay has just very correctly put it, live demons. Yes, they're poking me in the back at the minute, going, "Ah, you've gone live for the first time. Let's see how we can muck you up." So there we go. My forage trailer wouldn't tip in the sheep pen, and then I made the mistake of ridding myself of the grass that I'd so carefully harvested a few episodes ago, because I wanted to do it properly. I wanted to go, right, well, this, you know, yeah, the yield and the grass in this particular piece of land wasn't going to be great. I knew that, but I was going to use it nonetheless, take advantage of it, and go from there. So what we are going to do now, so we've got the grass. Go on console, then you can't. Yeah. Thank you, Vat. That's very kind, mate. Thank you very much. That's very kind to hear. Thank you. You're all wonderfully kind. It's all good fun, though, isn't it? It's all learning curve. Yes, I know I said I was feeling a bit nervous about doing this, but I'm already, even though I'm boiling hot, because I did turn the heating off about an hour ago, it's really quite hot in this house at the minute. Hotter than I like to have it, unfortunately. Right, so this lot here, we're going to stick in here. That should work, shouldn't it? Right, so they're full up now, it would seem. Food. So they only have 11,500 litres capacity of food. I always encourage FARMERSIM to cheat, and he never wants to. There you go. There you go. The proof's in the pudding. Yeah, but that's because it's new to you, Mrs. SG, isn't it? When you've recently, well, say recently, a couple of months now, you've been enjoying the PC life, haven't you? And when you joined PC life, all these like Easy Dev and Course Play and Auto Drivers, not that they're cheaty, but the Easy Dev controls and stuff, when they were presented in front of you, you were like, ooh, super speed, and you just kept on running around at like 200 mile an hour, like Flash, just because you could, and you had never done so before. Right. That's that bit now done with, isn't it? We've got the sheep are full, so let's just pop into the animal menu just to make sure. There we go. Sheep are full. Right. So I can just let them. I can leave them to their own devices. I can shut the door there. Close gate. There we go. Right. Let's get back in the fence. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. Lift it up. Hold it up. Lift it up. Hold it up. Reverse back from there. Proper legit is our FARMERSIM. You even sound northern saying that. Proper legit is our FARMERSIM. I'm going to paint that grass back on there just because OCD. There we go. Right, okay. And now, for my next trick, we're going to send this back to home farm. Just to say, I'll leave you to it, buddy. Yeah. Have you got a fly, have you, mate? I know you did say you had stuff going on. Right, let's... I don't know if... try 6 hours on carrot... Yeah, 6 hours on carrots. OCD kicking in with that stack of bales on the same. Yes, I know, sorry, yes, I know that wasn't a particularly well-stacked pile of bales, mate. Humblest apologies. That was just me getting them done and out of the way. Right, what am I doing? What am I doing now? I need... What we're going to do is we're going to record a field. I'm going to tidy up these bits of equipment here. Let's jump in here. Let's turn you off. Let's stick this back where you belong. We're going to get the plough. That's the tractor we want, and he isn't paying for landscape. Bloody cheating PC players. Do you know what? Because of how much time I love putting into painting and decorating the farms, landscaping and stuff. That free decorating tool thing is something that that's one of... If I was to make one of those videos that I know a few people have made in the past where it's like 25 must-have mods, that's going to be almost at the top for me. One of those, the free landscaping tools. Because I hate being limited. It's like, yeah, if you're doing a genuine series, like that wasn't a genuine piece of reversing, that was bloody awful. Yeah, I just hate being limited by money. It's rubbish. So, right, let's put you there. I think I am actually still going to need the fent for the plough. I think. Let me just check on that for a second, actually, because we might be able to use the Renault. I jump into our garage. Where's the plough? There you are. 170 horsepower. I'm sure the Renault's got 194. Renault it is, right. Oh, did you think they were very well stacked, Jay? Oh, well, thank you, mate. I'm glad. That's good. I was trying to do it as quickly and as you know, I felt pressured, I suppose. They're not mistakes, they are problems. You're always going to have problems. It's never a problem. It's only a problem if it can be sorted. And if it can't be sorted, then everything can be sorted. Absolutely right, Peter. Absolutely right. Where's my plough? I can't remember where I've got... Oh, I know where it is. I know where it is. Another awesome thing about this tractor, this will do full speed in reverse. It'll do full 26 mile an hour backwards. Like a crazy thing. So... there we go. Right. Let's go do some ploughing, everyone, now that I've established that I can't mow my painted grass. Even though I was convinced you can mow the painted grass. I could have sworn I've done that before. Right, let's see where the fence up to, just so I'm not going to go play chicken with him. On the oh, he's literally round the corner. That'll do. That will do. Come on, biggin. Will it make it through without smacking into the fence? No. There it is. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, nothing's going to do anything with that giant mower hanging off the front, isn't it? Right. You just go there for now. Biggin. There we go. Right. Let's go plough some land. You love the orange tractor, Violet. Yeah, do you know what I do as well, mate? This is a Renault Aries. It was on the it's released on the Mod Hub a few weeks ago. So if you do get you download Windows 10 for your PC and you do get yourself FARMERSIM 22 for your PC, Violet, you'll be able to grab yourself this tractor, mate, from the Mod Hub. You might have to go back a few pages from, as I say, it was released a couple of weeks ago, but there was this one. It was released alongside a class variant of this same tractor, I think. Forgive me, I can't remember the name of the modder who made this thing. I should know. In fact, I can tell you actually, if we just go into the John Deere 2450. there you go. That was the name of the modder who released this mod. There we go. So let's go plough, shall we? See if I can make a better job of catching up on the chat. As long as you're all happy chatting with each other, that's one good thing, I suppose. Yeah, you can, but not on that map I found. Even my wife won't let me get a PC. I have to make do with Xbox. Government subsidies, all I've got, unlimited money. Stephen, it was you who told me about that government, who told me in one of the comments on Zilonka, wasn't it, about the government subsidy, because I have actually just downloaded it for that Zilonka series. I'm not too sure whether I'm going to use it yet. In the mod description, I think it said there was two options, that you could get like £1 million a year or 100,000 a year. Is that right? James Hudson, hello sir, how you doing? You alright? Thanks for joining us, mate. Welcome to the stream. Really glad to have you, mate. Really glad to have you. Yeah, am I right with that, Stephen? Is that right? You've got the choice of like a million a year or 100k a year. Because I think if I was to use that, I think I'd go for the 100,000 instead of the million, because I don't want to. It's always nice to have some element of a challenge, isn't there? Even though it's awesome to have a essentially bottomless pit of a bank account. Yeah, a month. I think the money is. Yeah. From what I seem to read in the description, it was £1 million a year or 100,000 a year, but obviously that would be spread across a month. So, whatever that is divided by 12, I think. I like it to simulate rent money. Yeah. So yeah, that's I may well consider having a go at that with the Zilonka. Was there an element of factual correctness in your statement that over in Poland there is government subsidies is a relatively real thing? Is that correct? Am I right in saying that? Did you set most of that farm up yourself, Professor, or is it already there? I've not played Court Farms yet, as my gaming setup is still in hibernation at the minute. Milk tanker. Well, before we do anything, I'll show you. I'll jump back over here. So, yes, most of this is from the. In fact, no. Let's do it properly and go into Iron Man mode, shall we? I'll very briefly show you, mate. So, this is home farm. Everything. I can't actually free up my mouse cursor on here. Everything you see here, building-wise, is base game farm. This is what is there on the map. I placed down these two sheds here, that manure tanker, that slurry tanker there, sorry, this manure pit, and this hen house, and those 5 foil tunnel things. They're my creation, and the lime machine, that's my doing as well, and obviously the landscaping work around it, and the lanes here and stuff. This is all, I think part of this lane might be, I can't remember actually, goodness me, it's been such a long time since I've seen the standard map, but yes, this bit here, not including the hen house at the bottom right there, everything you see there is part of the farm, part of the map. You can't remove any of it, you can't delete any of it. It's like solidified into the map, which is fine, because there's a few farm layouts on this map, and they're all of the same ilk. You can't delete things, you can't remove that barn and place something else down there, which I know is quite limited, but I also found it a bit of a refreshing change, to be honest, in that we've been so used to being able to do exactly what we want with farms for such a long time, that it actually just turned out nice, than a nicer idea of just having it. This is the way the map maker made it. Enjoy. There you go. And the bees, yes, and the bees. Thank you, Stephen. Yeah, I put the bees down as well. I'm just catching up on a few more there. I use multiplayer and have one as a bank with millions in, and my farm, which I started with 0. Okay, mate. Well, I hadn't suggested it before because I thought you were a man of integrity. Yeah. Well, I know. I'd not had a choice. I had a plan, because this is my first live stream, I thought I need to make sure that I've got a rigid plan in place to make sure that I knew what I was doing. Yeah, and that's all gone down the pan, hasn't it? Allow create fields. Yeah, that's all gone down the pan, I'm afraid. Right, so I'm actually just going to, I'm not going to do a course course with this one because I'm going to be doing it myself. So we are literally just going to create a field. Now that we've got the sheep barn in here, now that I've created a little bit of a lane joining up the bridge that's in front of us there, so at some point in the near future I'll hook all this up to the auto drive network. Merry Christmas to you, Andreas, as well, mate. Merry Christmas. Yes, Merry Christmas to everyone, in fact. Goodness me. It's nearly Christmas, isn't it? It's nearly Christmas again. I can still remember last Christmas. Like it was like a week ago. This year has gone. Is it the same for anyone else? Is anyone else feeling that? Has this year gone quickly for any of you? I know it's felt that way for me, I suppose. It's, as I say, I can still remember last Christmas. Clear as day, which clearly meant that I didn't drink enough. Maybe. But yes, Merry Christmas to all of you. Are we all sorted for Christmas? The great big Christmas rush that we all have to fluster through and get ready. Andreas, too fast. Yeah, so I'm not the only one. Craig Mawson, Mr. Some Game on your trucks. If you drive a truck from each company for 1,000 miles, you get an achievement for it. I have to go into work last minute really early. I will finish watching the episode tomorrow. Have a good... No worries, Violet. I hope everything goes okay at work, love. Really nice of you to have you on the stream. Thank you very much for joining us. I shall hopefully see you in the next one. Take care. Yeah, so I'm not the only one then whose time is going quickly. But yeah, making a good use of this piece of land, I feel, here. So we're going to plough it under, we're going to cultivate it, we're going to, once we've ploughed it and cultivated it, we'll get the field scanner on here and get some field data for our precision farming, and then we will plant some grass. That's essentially what we're going to do. Seems to get quicker every year. Yeah, no, you're right, mate, it really does. They say time flies when you're having fun, but it's not always fun, is it? Not when you get to our age, anyway. Can't wait for the Crimbo break. Bye bye 2023. Yeah, do you know what, mate? I share that sentiment with you there, pal. I really do. 2023 can do one as far as I'm concerned. I will buy all presents on the 24th, mate. You're an absolute legend. I wish do you know, if I could, I would. But going shopping on the 24th of December, honestly, you'd never see me again because I'd be in prison for hurting people, probably. Just for getting up angry in shops, impatient. I hate shopping when it's busy. It just drives me round the bend. It really does. Best thing to happen this year was meeting you. Oh, mate. Legend, likewise, honestly. We've done well, haven't we, mate? We've really got something going, me and thee, haven't we? It's been an awesome thing. It really has. Ooh, and I tell you what, actually, thinking about that, not that I'm going to be able to do anything about it at the minute, because I know Leroy, you were messaging me yesterday, weren't you, mate? Thingy, FarmCon 2024, July the 6th and 7th, I believe, isn't it? Yeah, I think it's an age thing. Yeah. Yes. You know what? I yearn for the... Well, it's never going to happen, is it? Because age only goes one way, and it's the wrong way. But the feeling you got when you were younger, you know, when you were breaking up from school for Christmas and stuff, it was just the magic, the excitement, all that kind of stuff. It was just great. Whereas don't get that anymore because you just see, it's, for me, I don't know, maybe it's just because I'm a misery guts, but I just see the expense of it. You know, all of a sudden at the end of the year you're expected to spend an enormous amount of money on a ton of presents for people that you can't ordinarily afford to buy during the year, in the middle of the year, in June, all of a sudden in December. But that's just me. I'm just being, yeah. Nah. Mate, I'm flat out till the 24th. Leroy, I can imagine, mate, being chief chef. I can imagine your line of work has you absolutely rammed, doesn't it? Till the 24th. Yeah. Snow is falling all around us, children. Yeah. Oh, you see? Yeah, you're. Please don't ask me to sing it. You have an update on that, do you, Leroy? Well, I was just. I got a wonderful email today from Giants with a bit of an invite on it and like a code or something that for. But July the 6th and the 7th next year is around the time when we're possibly going to be moving house, and it couldn't be at a worse time. And I just don't know at the minute if I'm going to be able to spare the time to gallivant across to Germany, as much as I would absolutely love to go, especially this being my first year of YouTubing and becoming, a very, very tiny part of this wonderful farm sim community. I would love to be able to go to FarmCon, to the Fent Forum, and go and do a thing there for a couple of days. But at the minute, it's looking very unlikely that I'm going to be able to do it. But we shall see. Time will tell. Things might change. You never know. You might win the lottery between now and then. In which case, I'll pay for you all to go. But until that day happens, I can't. So I won't. Must be a bro thing. Yeah. I just took a look. FarmCon would be epic. I never book too far in advance with my house, so if I can go, it'll be the last minute choice. Yeah, yeah. That's it. It's. I hope I can. All I can say is at the minute. I know we haven't even got into next year yet. So, fingers crossed. Touch wood. I hope I can. That's all I'm going to say. That's about as much planning as I can do at the minute. If we can afford to go, we will. So, you don't have a day off till the 3rd of January. Oh, mate, really? Honestly, I genuinely feel for you there, mate. I suppose, obviously, you're doing all the Christmas dinner and stuff, aren't you? All the Christmas dinners. I'm off on holiday this week, going away in the caravan to visit family, then back to work on the main day itself. You back to work on Christmas Day, Jay? Tonight, Stephen, I have port. I love port at this time. You have 2 spare tickets if me and Mrs. Sim... Mate, that's very, very kind. Honestly, Leroy, that is desperately kind. Thank you, mate. By all means, if you find someone to take them before you get an answer from myself and Mrs. SG, then by all means, please let the other people take them. Because I know the tickets aren't too expensive. They're only about 15 quid, I think. So that it's the ticket expense isn't really a problem. It's the getting to Germany bit and the time that's more of an issue from my side of things anyway. Although I know me and Mrs. SG have had this conversation a couple of times because I absolutely hate flying. I'm a nightmare. I can't stand it. It terrifies me. I'd get in my little Honda Civic outside and go for an absolute blast and drive there. That's what I'd do, and then stop at the Nürburgring for a few hot laps, perhaps. That'd be pretty cool. That'd make it all the worthwhile as well, wouldn't it? Let's go to FarmCon and then go for a scoot round the ring. Yes, me getting on a plane, Mrs. SG. No, not me getting on a plane. No, thank you. I'll stay firmly on terra firma, thank you. Yeah. Well, say ticket mean travel and hotel. Oh, is that what you meant, Leroy? You weren't referring to the FarmCon tickets, you were referring to places in a hotel. Well, either way, like I say, was... do you know what? It's just the story of my life, though, that is. Not being able to plan a goddamn thing. Really. Still haven't got a clue what we're doing at Christmas. This is actually the first year in 6 or 7 years that we are, as we speak now, on the 15th of December, completely disorganised for Christmas. We've got no actual solid plans in place. We've got a Christmas tree up. That's about as far as we've got. We haven't got done any Christmas shopping yet. Not one single piece of Christmas shopping. Because Mrs. FARMERSIM has been extremely busy with work. Yeah, she's been really busy. And I've been really busy as well doing this. And stripping my camper van. I've been doing that the last couple of days actually. Leroy, I'm thinking I may drive too. It's only 14 hours. Yeah, do you know what? Well, that's my ideal thing with me being a dribbling petrol head and a tragic car enthusiast. A drive for me, that's what it's all about. So I could jump in the Type R and go for an absolute Wellington down the country. Go through the old Channel Tunnel and go for a bit of a European gumball. Stop at the ring for a lap or two, and then on to FarmCom. Road Trip new TVC. Yeah. Well, I did buy me GoPro actually for Llama. But technically, that'd be way cool. Although I couldn't film that though, could I? No, wouldn't be able to film that because, well, I could film the ring if I went to the ring, but I couldn't film the public roads down there because that's just evidence, isn't it? Especially in my car because it's very noisy. So there wouldn't be no, officer, I was doing 60 miles an hour. Not by the sound of that engine, young man. Back to work on Christmas Day. Probably start work a bit earlier and hopefully finish early too, as the roads will be a tanker driver's dream. Do you know what, mate? Yeah, you're right. Actually, the roads will be they will be a tanker driver's dream, won't they? Nice and quiet. Absolutely. There's an engine light come on. Oh yeah. Oh. Yeah. Do you know what? You have, haven't you, mate? In the old Landy Rover. I think my girl is a Friday car. Someone built it as fast and wanted to go. It's a Poet's Day car, Mr. Sim Gamer. Poet's Day. Have you had it? Have you had any? Has it been fixed yet, Mrs. SG? Have you taken it to a garage? Oh, you have taken it to a garage, haven't you? Yeah, you did tell me. Have you got it? Have you got it back yet? Was that today or was that tomorrow or Monday? Can't remember. Was it the EGR valve? Was it, or the DPF filter, or one of those two? The bane of a modern diesel car's existence for those two pieces of equipment. It is a Poet's Day car, yeah. Yeah. There's nothing worse than having a broken car. My dear grandmother used to say, "There's the only thing in life worse than a sick child is a sick car." I do miss my grandmother. She was a wonderful woman, and she was so fastidious about her car and her car maintenance. It was brilliant. Just even in her final days of driving, she'd still go outside and warm her car up in the morning, like she used to have to do with her old Fiesta when her old car that used to have a choke. Yeah, fixed and picked up 307 EGR valve. Yeah, exhaust gas recirculation valve. The bane of all modern diesels, mate, because it's a must-have, unfortunately, so that modern diesels can be legitimately legal on the roads, so they don't bog up the roads with black smoke. But this is the downside. The EGR valves clog up. The trick is, if you want to know the trick, and I learnt this from a mechanic friend, every now and even though your most modern diesel excuse me, most modern diesels now that have the old EGR valves and all that kind of stuff and DPF filters, they have a self-cleaning cycle in them, so that every now and again the car itself will try and unclog the DPF filter. But the trick is, every now and again, just take it for a very spirited drive, take the revs higher than normal, and go for a good stonking up and down the motorway a couple of junctions, and just open the taps up a bit just to help unclog it every now and again. You shouldn't have to do that, but it's a good. I'd want to call it preventative maintenance, but yeah, just to help you potentially overcome these little niggles where your engine light comes on and you're forced to take it to a garage and spend 3 squillion quid to have the light removed and a paper filter replaced. There are a few more advisory things. We'll send you the list, FARMERSIM, and you can ask your mate what it's worth doing. Oh, is there? A few more advisory things. This is in game of probbies. We would argue on whose car we took. Oh, there'd be no arguments of going in my car. It's, yeah. Enough said. What do you drive, Leroy, out of interest, mate? If you're planning on doing the drive in a car more expensive than my Audis. What, the Range is? The Range is more expensive than the Audi you used to own. There's a Range Rover though at the end of the day. Or, well, it's an Evoque, so it's got the... But is that what you're saying, Mrs. SG? Hire a minibus and we all go, Stephen. I like your idea. Yeah, FARMERSIM minibus. Or technically we could do it proper FARMERSIM style or farm style. We rent a big Fent and a big trailer, and we all just pick it. You all just sit on the trailer, bolt some wooden benches to the trailer, and we go full, yeah, full country spec. So we do that and just chug along at what, 19 miles an hour in a big Fent 1050 with twin BKTs. Should we do that? Big flatbed bale trailer. It's just all we've done is given it a sweep. Thread count is spot on, Mrs. SG. Range is more expensive on the fixes. Yeah, to be fair, that yeah, it would, yeah. I had a Range Rover for a while, not a modern one like you. I had an old P38 V8 Range Rover a few years ago, which was an absolute beast. It was still a desperately complicated thing. Had all the air suspension and 22-inch wheels at one point. TVs and DVD players and all that kind of stuff. Those trailers they put sheep in. Yeah. But yeah, my Range would have been nothing like what it would be like to try and fix a modern Range Rover. An A-Class Merc, Leroy, AMG, very nice, mate. Funnily enough, my mate's just bought one of those, a white one. Yeah, and he's really quite happy with it. They're ridiculously fast. It's a turbo petrol one, so it's 300 and, or is it almost 400 horsepower, I think. It's a really, really, really fast car. Yeah, quite a thing. Very nice place to be. If we did that, we need to leave now. Yeah. Yeah, tractor and trailer, let's all go out farm style. Yeah. The only thing, if we did that, the only thing I'd have to say is get you all to sign a disclaimer to say I can't do anything about the weather between here and Germany when we get there in about a week's time. So bring an umbrella and a waterproof coat. Even modern trucks are still the same, always having problems with them. Yeah, AdBlue. No, I have a little bit of experience with that milk tanker, Jay, because I used to work for Volvo Trucks many years ago, and I was worked in the as a bit of a transport manager there, moving all the brand new trucks up and down the country, and a load of used ones as well, because we had a used vehicle sales department as well. Yeah, but when they started putting the ad, it was in 2004, 2005, I think, when they started bringing in the AdBlue regulations, where it's essentially sheep urine, isn't it, from what I remember. Yeah, but then they started having all those things on, and they caused quite a few problems, if I remember correctly. Because we always I was in charge of a group of the drivers who would be landing on at a port, for example, up in Heysham, picking trucks off that had just arrived on the ferry. At 3 o'clock in the morning to come and pick up 13 trucks. None of them started because they didn't have fuel in them and they didn't have enough AdBlue in them and this, that and the other, and it was like, what? Nightmare. Absolute nightmare. Good job you don't have speed limit on. Oh yeah. Yeah, do you know what? That's one thing I've never experienced yet, is the Autobahn. That would be amazing. Give the old Honda a good blatting down the Autobahn. That'd be sweet. Definitely. Fond and fun memories on the Autobahn. Have you been on the Autobahn, Mrs. SG? What car were you in on the Autobahn? Seething with jealousy here, mate. As long as Mrs. SG brings a few bottles of port. Yeah, do you know what? Sitting on the back of a bale trailer with a big group of other people having a sing-song, being towed by a Fent to go to the Fent Forum in Germany, to go to FarmCon, drinking port. How cool would that be? Do you know what? That sounds like an amazing thing to do. I mean, vastly impractical. It would take us a week to get there, but it would be so cool. Do you reckon can you? Although no, we wouldn't be able to do it, would we? Because you can't get a tractor onto the Eurotunnel. Can you? Car problems drive you mad. See what you did there, Peter? Hey, see what you did there. Car problems do drive you mad. I've had my own car problems these last couple of days. I'm in the middle of stripping a classic camper van. I've got a 1972 bay window late bay bus, and it's going for a full ground up restoration at the beginning of next year. It's going to start beginning of next year and finish the beginning of the year after, probably. But I've spent the last couple of days in that, ripping it to pieces basically, and it took me less time to strip. It was a full camper van. It had a kitchen, it had a rock and roll bed, it had, you know, all the trims, all that kind of stuff all over the place. It took me less time to strip the entire bus to a bare metal box and take subsequent crap that came out of it to the tip. It took me less time to do that than it took me to replace a door latch cable in my Honda Civic that's about 1.5 feet long, which I did yesterday. It was ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Andreas, it reminds me of my Saab, mate. Love a Saab. Funnily enough, my camper van's got Saab front seats in it. I've long ago, first year no problems, second year I didn't know if I could go to my work and back with no problems every week. What was it? Was it a 9.5, a 9.3? Was it an old 900 turbo? Please tell me it was an old 900 turbo, because they're amazing. Love one of those. Classic Saab. It's a shame Saab don't exist anymore, because they made some exquisite cars. Very interesting for you, FS. Most of our fleet are diesel Scanias and gas Volvos. Ah, okay. So diesel Scanias, so a normal diesel. When you say a gas Volvo, do you mean like you don't mean fuel gas? You mean gas, like modern fuels? Is that what you mean? Saab 9000 CS, lovely. Yeah, the 9000 was a nice car. My grandfather had a 9000 actually. It was in a really nice, like, pea green, a light metallic pea green colour. It was a beautiful thing. Loved it. Black leather interior. Went to Dusseldorf. The Autobahn is a Mason white knuckle ride. Yeah. The Autobahn is definitely something worth having a go at. I'd really want to have a go at that one day. Right. So we're almost finished ploughing this field. Are you guys happy to hang around for a bit longer if I go and get the cultivator and we'll give it a cultivating as well? Or have you had enough of me and you want me to go away? Tell me. Because we're at an hour and a half now, and I'm more than happy to go for 2 hours again, like me and Mrs. SG did. Let me know. But yeah, we've got a decent amount of land out of this bit, I think. Love your thinking, Chris. Line the stomach. I will not be driving on this road trip. Oh yes, I fixed more coffee. Good stuff. You've had 4 Saabs, a V695, 3 93s, and one was a convertible. Nice one, Mojo. A bit of a Saab tragic, are we, mate? Do love a Saab. Love a Saab. Just roll it to give you a seed bed. Yeah, that's... yeah, I suppose. Oh, and I've got a direct seeder, haven't I? So let's just do that. We'll go and get the seeder. We'll get this bit finished off here, and then we'll just park this up. We'll flick over to the Fent. We'll pick up our little whatchamacallit? What's it called? Gill Airsome, our 6-metre direct seeder, and just rock and roll from there and get some grass drilled. Yeah, they use diesel to start, then run on gas. Oh, right, okay. Are they FHs, FMs? What are they, mate? Are they tractor units or are they rigids? Do you have like the big 40-foot tankers, or do you run like the 18-ton rigid chassis? I must admit, I'm out of touch with modern, the latest Volvo tech. It was a few years ago when I worked. The FH16 560, I think, was the latest and greatest truck that they bought out just before I packed in working for them. But that was a glorious thing. The FH16 was an absolute beast. My brother blew up his aero trying to race a crotch rocket. Get in. Yeah, there's not... yeah, Saabs definitely aren't something to that would do much damage against a motorcycle. I must admit. Good cars, the Corsair, the W Reg. So that's a Corsair B. You got a Corsair B. They're the just another completely uninteresting and tragic car enthusiast fact. If you wanted to put a power steering rack in a classic Volkswagen camper van, you would use one from a Vauxhall Corsair, a Corsair B, probably the W Reg, similar one that you had, Mrs. SG. There you go. You'll sleep tonight knowing that now, won't you, mate? All of you. Full of all these interesting facts. Crotch rocket, yeah. Must admit, I've never been one for motorcycles. I can't ride a motorbike. Yeah. FM tractors 6x2. I only drive Scanias. Ah, do you only drive the Scanias? Is it a V8? Go on. Are those is it the top line Scania with the V8 engine? It sounds... a V8 diesel truck sounds so good. Really does. Especially when you let off the accelerator and it's on the engine brake thing. They sound amazing. I'm going to hazard a guess, Stephen Armour, to say what you meant was Qashqai Nissan. Am I correct? Qashqai? Possibly. Yeah, I do love a Vauxhall Corsair. Yeah, they're good little cars. I used to work for a delivery service as well that ran a fleet of Corsair Bs, Chinese takeaway, and they had a fleet of Corsairs, and they were brilliant little things. They went on forever. Coffee maker is on, so keep rolling, Andreas. Okay, mate, no problem. Well, we'll definitely be going for another half an hour at least. We'll definitely do another half an hour. 2 hours, I think, is about right. I feel. So, there we go. Got another field, ladies and gentlemen. Let's turn that engine off so I'm not wasting my go-go juice. Let's jump into a bit of Iron Man mode very quickly. Just to... There we go. Check that out. That'll do, won't it? That's not bad at all. So this is all going to be turned into grass. So that's pretty cool. I'm happy with that. Although, to be fair, what I need to do is we need to go back over here. We're going to jump in this wee beastie. We're going to hitch up the field scanner and send that over there. First of all, because we need to get the data for precision farming, of course. Now, where did I put said field scanner? I think it is in here. Love the Vectra and the Astra. Do you know what, Peter? Couldn't agree more. I was down at the workshop with my friend this morning. He has, because we're all Honda enthusiasts. My friends build and race prep Honda Civics, so that's why we've all got a Honda Civic of some description. But my good friend Kieran, his daily driver is quite simply a 1.6 SXI Astra 2007, 8, I think it might be. 180,000 mile, but it is an absolute weapon of a car. It just goes on forever. It's got 180,000 miles. We were underneath it this morning. He had it up on the lift, and you wouldn't know it had 180,000 miles. It was clean as a whistle down there underneath it. It was incredible. Right, what are we doing here? Let's just send you to the wool pallets. That'll do for now, because I need to label this new field and get it hooked up into the auto drive network. So we want, what am I doing now? Oh, seeding. That's right. We're seeding. So let's just disconnect the rower. We shall just park this here for now. Save wasting. I first need to unfold. I'm not trying to. Oh, that one. Billy. Let's. Yeah, you can't take that off without it being unfolded, can you? There we go. Lower that down. Disconnect. We need to go and get our weight. Oh, heck, I don't know if I've got any seed actually. That's a good point. I'll have to purchase a bag of seed or two. We shall see. Where are we? Wimpy was the, WNP was the last 3 letters. Yes, Peter, very reliable. Yes, I can talk to my. I've had a couple of Astras over the years. I've had a 1700 CDTI estate, a 56 plate, and I did have a 2-litre SRI spec turbo diesel estate car, and they are bomb-proof essentially. I mean, I gave that thing death, quite literally. Right, I think we've got enough seed here, to be fair, haven't we? We can plant grass. Where have we gone? Dump. There we go, that's grass, isn't it? That is grass. Do we have any seed on the shelf just to fill up if we need to? Don't think. Oh, we've got a little bit. There we go. We can top you up. There we go. 92%. That'll do. That'll do for us. Pleb? What are we saying here, Mrs. SG? I had a green Fiat Punto after that with the number plate P119EEB. I was known as a pleb. Fiat Punto, though, again, awesome cars. My friend had a 1.2 Fiat Punto Sporting in bright yellow. It was his first car, and that was an absolute weapon of a little thing, that. Yeah, those were great days. Great days. Yeah, I used to give that absolute beans, that little car, and he just used to take it all the time. I can't remember it ever going wrong for him. S-Reg. That was called SOC, S996OCK. I'm lifting a drink in the air and toasting Mrs. Simgay and FARMERSIM and the farming community. Long may they keep going. Cheers to you, Peter, mate. I will, do you know what, let me just, so that I don't crash into that gate post there. And I know it's probably not quite as strong as yours, and I've got low tide on Glass Bay, but cheers to you too, mate, and to all of you. Merry Christmas. Council Pop. No more Council Pop. Better than a Fiat Panda. Yeah. Samo, honestly, my history with cars has been a comic's dream. Has it, mate? Go on. Tell all. Talk about cars all day long. My first car was a Volvo 140 from 1972. Get in. Can't beat an old car. Old cars are so much better. Lifting my port in the air. I feel like I should have a bit. I should have some form of alcoholic beverage now, but I'm nowhere near one. I can't obviously get up to get one. So maybe I'll try that the next time I take a brave pill and do another live stream. Maybe we shall see. I've got about 1 million bottles of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Honey downstairs, so that's if I was to have a drink, that would be my thing. But it's too easy to drink. This is one of the reasons why I don't drink very much, because, or I very rarely drink at all. Next week, FARMERSIM, booze and mince pies. Well, yeah, but can you imagine just everybody, goodbye. That'd just be me, just sozzled on the internet, live. Everyone come and laugh at FARMERSIM, who can't drive. It would take up the rest of your stream, buddy, but let's just say, as much of a petrol head as I am, cars just do not agree with me. Oh, do they not? Cars don't agree with you? Well, I suppose in some way cars don't agree with me either, even though I love them so much and I've spent my life mucking around with them, polishing them and cleaning them and doing all that kind of stuff. Right, what are we doing here? Grill. There we go. Hang on a minute. What am I doing? No, stop. Stupid boy. Let's... Where's me thingy gone? Now I can't flick between my tractors. Well, look at that, ladies and gentlemen. I sent this little tractor to the wool pallets section, which is oh, you've gone to the wrong one. That's my fault. Goodness me. And this is sober, FARMERSIM. The wool pallets. But why was he trying to reverse around there? Strange. Right, what's the name? What's the destination called that I need to send him to? Oh, I haven't got time for this, have I? I just need to... Because I need this now. There we go. Right. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Using the map teleportation thing there just to... Right, I think... That should encompass the whole field, I feel. Take soil sample. Yep. There we go. Modded soil sampler. Stormtrooper is drunk too. Yeah. You're damn right. There we go. Right, I think I've managed to encompass that whole field. Excellent. 150 pounds soil samples analysed. Yep. So lift up, fold up, job done. Excellent. It was quick. Eventually, anyway. There we go. The very first car was a Talbot Horizon 1000cc. Oh, the tappets, mate. Yes. You could hear them coming a mile away. Legendary car. Right. There we go. Right, we're drilling. We've got 15 minutes to get this field drilled. Let's see what we can do. Auto drive doing what it does best. Do you know what, honestly, that was entirely my fault. When it said wool pallets, my mind thought wool pallets was over here, but it wasn't. It was round the back of Home Farm. But why it was reversing through the reversing section of the silage bunker, I don't know, because wool pallets was nowhere near there. Dudes, I need to go take the dogs out for final business run, looking after other guys, so it is a mission. Absolutely, mate. Thank you very much, Mrs. SG, for joining us tonight, mate, even though I know you've had a very busy day, mate, and I'm eternally grateful that you've given us, you've given me and everyone here a good chunk of your time tonight, mate. So thank you very much for being here, keeping everyone entertained in the chat. Thank you. Yeah. I hope all goes well with the doggies, mate. I hope they're all right. At least. Oh, mate. Giving you stickers. Thank you, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah. Keep it real, Mrs. SG. the rest of your evening goes well. Drop us a message later, mate. Just let us know all your dogs are all right, pal. One of my friends bought me a Hummer. Craig Mawson, one of your friends bought you a Hummer for your birthday. Are you going to wind me up and show me like a 1/18th scale, or are you being serious? Yes, Mrs. SG. Yes, on the 23rd. That's going to be our next scheduled 2 hours of nonsense down the road on Court Farms. Yeah. Yeah, Craig, really? A real Hummer? A H2 or a H1 or a toy? If you're talking about a real one, that's an extremely generous friend. Who wouldn't want a Hummer though? Sorry. Bashed into the microphone with my fat hands. Looking forward to that. Good stuff. Glad to know that, mate. Glad to know that, yeah. I'm looking forward to it too. It was a shame this week we haven't been able to get round to doing a getting an episode recorded for tomorrow night, or we aren't able to do a live stream tomorrow night either, just because life's hectic at this time of the year, isn't it? There's just so much going on, and I know Mrs. SG is a very busy woman at the minute, so yeah, we haven't been able to get together to do anything this week, so hence why there was popped a community post out yesterday just to say huge apologies everyone, but hopefully we'll make it up to you in that is next week, isn't it? Yeah, the 23rd. Yeah. Yeah. We shall we'll no doubt get something done for you all. Get together, and I think I will have I might have myself some form of tipple, little whiskey or something maybe, just to wash the nerves away, make any live stream goblins easier to deal with. I've been busy to build farms on different maps. Yeah, it's that time of year. It is, mate. It is. It's that time of year. It really is. As much as I do like parts of Christmas. I look forward to the food and obviously getting together with friends and family and stuff. I'm looking forward to all that. But it's the fuss, the lead up to it, the hecticness of it all that over the years my patience has worn thin with it. No problem, Leroy. Mate, Leroy, you legend. Thank you so much for everything tonight, mate. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining me and us. Thank you for the super chats, mate. You absolute legend. Catch you soon, mate. Yeah, indeed, I will. Certainly will. Chat to you tomorrow. I'll send you a message or something, mate. You take care, pal. Yeah, it's understandable at Christmas. I know it's one of them, isn't it? But part of me is just I'm looking forward to. Yeah, Christmas dinner, can't beat Christmas dinner. That's the bit I look forward to, even though I'm probably going to end up cooking it this year as well myself. I know my sister's doing something over at her house, but nobody knows what they're doing yet. This is the thing. It's so difficult to make plans with our friends and family. What are we on now? 15th of December. No idea where we're going to be on Christmas Day, who's cooking Christmas dinner. I don't even know if I'm cooking Christmas dinner or not. Haven't got a clue. Probably won't find out until about 3 o'clock on the 24th. And then it'll be like, oh, okay, let's come here then, or let's go there, or it's like, I think you've got over your nerves. Yes, I think the nerves, I think that'll come, that'll go with time. The more I do these things, obviously it's doing the stuff I've done with Mrs. SG, having her there as well to chat to and make conversation with, kind of it removes 50% of the nerves, I guess. And we've done a couple now, so you know it gets easier the more you do it. But with this one tonight being my first proper official live stream, I know I did a couple of tests, didn't I, during the day a few weeks ago, just to make sure that I had the settings right. Ooh, that's out of curiosity actually, because everything's green still. I've got no dropped frames and this, that and the other. I've been increasing my bit rate gradually every time I've done a stream. And I know because I'm not doing an online game with Mr. SG here, playing on a server, running Discord as well as chat, visually, what's it like? Is it okay? Is it bearable? Is it too... is it alright? That's my main concern, because I know I've said it before. It means a lot to me to get the visual quality as good as possible. And I know my limitation is, my bottleneck is my internet connection, I get that. So I can't stream in 4K. It's just impossible at the minute until I do something about getting some like super fibre connection. But that's not going to be happening while I'm in this house. We're moving house next year, so looks fine. Good. No, that's good as long as it looks alright. Because obviously I can see the little screen here on the YouTube screen here, but it's a tiny little screen and it's never going to look right. So any of you guys who are sat there watching it on a TV screen or something, as long as it looks okay and it's not too hopefully there shouldn't be too much lag or too much pixelation or anything. But yeah, because I've hiked the bit rate up to 10,000 at the minute. Wait, I need to clean my glasses. Fantastic, bro. Loves every minute. Don't want it to end. Mate, do you know what? I could obviously go on for quite a while now, if I'm honest, but we're just under 2 hours, which is incredible, to be honest. So I reckon we will finish off drilling this field. That's where we will get to, I think. Looks very good here in New York. Are you in New York, Mojo? Did I know that? I don't think I knew that. You're in New York. Wow. That's an area of the United States I've always wanted to go there. Are you actually in the city that never sleeps? Are you actually in, or are you in... Forgive me, I'm a bit naive to the way things are laid out over there. You've got New York City, haven't you? Like, is it Manhattan Island? Or, Staten Island or something? Is that right? My geography's not too great there. And then you've got... oh, what's it called now? Like Upper New York. It's not called Upper New York, is it? But it's the area outside of New York that's not the city. But it's still... Upstate! Thank you, upstate. I knew there was a U and a P in it somewhere. Upstate New York. That's right, there you go. That's where you are, is it, mate? Lovely stuff. Near Syracuse. Okay. Yeah, I would love to do the good old... tour of the United States, because it is a beautiful country. You've got some stunning places to visit, lands. I'd love to go to the Grand Canyon. I'd love to go to Nevada, do the whole places like that, and obviously just do the stereotypical thing. Rent a great big American car, dirty great big V8 engine, and just burble up and down the United States, just visiting all these places that I've only ever seen on TV and in films. Manhattan, Brooklyn, Queens, Long Island, Bronx. Looks good on a 60-inch TV, no need to work. Thanks, John. Appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. My friend's family have businesses as popular as Greg's and Eddie Stobart. Nice. Funnily enough, Greg's was in that, because that's a bakery that we have here as well. But I went to school in Tynemouth, which is in the northeast of England, years ago, and my head teacher was John Gregg of the family Greggs. His son was the person who started the bakery, I believe. So yeah, there's a little bit of a thing for you. Although I don't think he became a particularly popular human being. I think if you were to Google John Gregg now, you'd find some relatively awful news reports on him, because he turned into a bit of a naughty man, shall we say? No, a Winnebago, yes, mate, a Winnebago. That'd be pretty cool, to be fair. Yeah, I don't think my camper van will cope with the state-by-state trip across the United States. An old air-cooled Volkswagen. Yeah. Catch fire. I'm about 4 hours from there. I lived in Vegas for a while. Oh, Vegas. I'd love to go to Vegas. I'd love to go to Vegas because I'd like to go to Rachel in Nevada. Those of you who know what Rachel is popular for, you'll probably know why. Just because I've always had a bit of a, you know, an interest in that kind of thing. Yeah. But yeah, I'd love to go to Vegas anyway. Not that I'd be able to afford to spend much money there, or lose much money there, or gamble away, but yeah, it'd still be pretty cool. It's not done bad for seed rate, this field. In fact, just out of pure interest, where are we? Crop types, grass. There we go. So now I want to go into to a predominantly loam and silty clay. So we'll have a very low and a very high seed rate, it would seem. What's that? Oh, that's the yield from the grass, isn't it? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, because it's grass, isn't it? Yeah, that's okay. Can't beat Greg's, and I know Tynemouth well as I'm in Alnwick, and I'm going to St James's Park to support Newcastle United. There you go. Yes, I went to King's in Tynemouth for many, many years, back when I was a wee lad. Yeah, loved it there. We used to do PE on the beach. And we used to, there was two piers at the mouth of the Tyne, and our school was literally 2 minutes from the mouth of the Tyne. So we used to, and it was torture, because our PE teachers used to make us do the run. So you'd have to run from the school right up to the end of the lighthouse and round the lighthouse and back down the pier again. And the pier, when you were young and you were small and knackered and wheezing, doing this long run in 90-degree horizontal rain, running to the lighthouse and back was an absolute nightmare. But I look back at it now and think, oh, that would have been amazing. But yeah, it was great times there. Yeah, indeed. Our school was literally, it was full of Geordies and Mackhams, because it was literally like a half and half divide, wasn't it? There was 50% people supporting Sunderland and 50% of people supporting Newcastle. So yeah, that was good times, mate, good times. I think we did go to Alnwick as well once for something. I'm trying to think what it was, but I know I've been to Alnwick. I can't remember what it was for the life of me. Well, I think I've kind of achieved roughly what I wanted to achieve tonight, albeit with a few niggles here and there. We obviously we had the grass problem, which I think we've got over that, thankfully. Yeah, I had no choice, did I? But just to spawn those bales. But we have a field, we have our sheep barn, our second sheep barn. There we go. Look at that. Lift up, turn off, fold up. Still got 69% of the seed left. Job's a good one. There we go. That'll do for me, ladies and gentlemen. This is our grass field. This is going to feed our sheep. But I'm going to have to bale it up. So I'm going to need, I think, initially in my mind, this was going to be a little shed just to put some bits of equipment in. But I think now this is going to be a shed to put grass bales in, because this bale shed, this sheep shed doesn't take loose grass. It only takes from bales. Unless there was a problem with my particular forage wagon, which I don't think there was. It seems to work everywhere else. Yes, these are going to have to take from bales, which means I'm going to have to bale this up. So, a bit more stuff to consider. I might have to get myself a separate little bit of kit to live over here. Just, excuse me, a mower, a rower, and a baler, perhaps, and something to pick the bales up with, because that telehandler of mine is a bit slow and a bit wheezy. Maybe that's something else I should upgrade, but I really can't at the minute, because we're now 300,000 quid in debt. I've got 37 grand in the bank. Obviously we need to do a little bit of work in here. We need to get this thing limed, don't we, and get rolled and get some nitrogen spread, but that can be in the next recorded episode. So, got there in the end, FS. Yes, mate, I did. Thank you, mate. Certainly did. Got there in the end. And we're almost at exactly 2 hours. It's beautiful up here, swimming in the cold North Sea in the middle of winter, talking about Mackems. We have them in the FA Cup, a spike match for sure. First one in 7 years. Craig Mawson. FARMERSIM, I have seen worse from another YouTuber. Your videos and Mrs. Sim Gamers videos are fantastic. Thank you very much, Craig. Thank you, mate. Really appreciate that. Thank you. Glad you've enjoyed it. Stephen, quick bail. It is a possibility. I think I might consider that one, mate. Yeah. Another cracking live stream, mate. Awesome as always. We all really appreciate it. Thank you, Stephen. Really kind, mate. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you to all of you for joining me on my first official solo live stream. I hope you have all enjoyed the last 2 hours of me babbling along. We got there in the end, didn't we? We made progress. We've done stuff. We have a new field. We've got sheep. We've got a shed, and the wool production will be cracking on. That's the main thing. So yeah, Samo, smashed it, buddy. Can't wait for the next one. Thank you, mate. Yes, do you know what? I've enjoyed this live stream thing. I know I have enjoyed doing it with Mrs. SG, and we will probably be doing a lot more of those into the future. But I've quite liked this instead of just because it takes me 2 days to make an episode of a Court Farms episode. Now a lot of that is down to the editing software I use. It takes a long time for that thing to do its thing, but it takes me most of a day to record an episode, several hours to edit it, 7 to 8 hours depending on the length of it to render it, and then a good chunk of time to upload it to YouTube. So that's why I always have to plan so far ahead. So that's when I knew I couldn't get an episode done for tonight, I was like, right, well, instead of trying to rush around and do all the stuff I've got to do and try and, because I never liked the idea of rushing. Well, I can't rush an episode. You just can't rush an episode, because if you make something that's complete crap, no one's going to watch it. And so you've got to take your time and do it. Or that's how I feel I have to do it anyway. So instead of doing that and rushing out an episode that's complete rubbish, I figured, let's do this and bring you with me. And here we are. So I'll see you on the 23rd. I got a bit to work. No worries, Stephen. Thank you very much for your time joining me, mate. I really appreciate it. Milk Tanker, looking forward to the next one in the series. Thank you, mate. Yep, hopefully, if I can get one done, I'll be back on here tomorrow recording an episode for Monday, essentially. That's what I've got to do. Live is better, then we see some mistakes and have fun. Yeah, I think they have their pros and cons, don't they? I know a lot of you know that I do like to I like to muck around making cinematics and stuff, and obviously I can't do any of that here. But it's a different thing, isn't it? I get to talk to you, I get to chat to you, we get to you know, it's awesome. We appreciate the quality content, time and effort you put in for us, mate, honestly. That's very, Samo, mate, that's very kind to say. My favourite, thank you, mate, that's humbling. Sorry, fat hands, you see, bashing into everything. I need to do something about this microphone as well. It's complete rubbish. Thank you, Samo, really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Hearing stuff like that is humbling, it really is. So yeah, everyone, thank you for your time joining me tonight. I really appreciate it, joining me on a Friday night. I hope you've had fun. So yeah, keep your eyes out on the channel for the next one. Hopefully the next one on here will be Monday. Hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, as long as everything goes right. Me and Mrs. SG will be live next weekend on Saturday, down the road on Stonebridge Farm, on Court Farms, on our other server save. Potentially with a whiskey in hand, with it being the 23rd of December. A bit of festive cheer, as it were. But yeah, thanks always. Thank you to everyone. Thank you always for coming and joining me. Thank you for your company, your time, your comments, and all. Yeah, awesome. So, cheers everyone, and I shall see you next time. See you later. Bye. Bye.